Hello everyone, I am Elma Oseba, a BSN Mathematics third year student. In this video, I am going to discuss the organizational climate of schools. Organizational climate is the set of internal characteristics that distinguish one school from another and influence the behavior of members. In other words, organizational climate refers to the system of beliefs and values the students working with perceive from the organizational, and it directly affects the performances of the students. As educators, it means how much trust and harmony we have with each other. Organizational climate influences members' behaviors and attitudes. So, organizational climate greatly influences employees' behavior and attitudes. The results of the study indicate that organizational climate mainly impacts motivation, promotes individual learning, affects communication, and improves organizational values, groups, decision-making, and solving. Personality is to individual and climate is to organization. So, climate of an organization is somewhat like the personality of a person, just as every individual has the personality that makes his or her unique and different from other person. And for the climate is to organization refers to the employees' shared perception and the meaning they attach to the policies, practices, and procedures they experience in their workplace, as well as to the behaviors they observe being rewarded, supported, and expected regarding the human resources of the organization. Organizational climate encompasses organizational structures and processes, interpersonal relationships, employees' behavior, performances, expectations, and opportunities for growth. Additionally, organizational climate has important outcomes at individual, group, and organizational level. School climate refers to the school effects on students, including teacher practices, diversity, and the relationships among administrators, teachers, parents, and students. A safe and positive school climate is vital in supporting students' success and achievement. Teachers help them to reach their goals by teaching their students on how to set their goals in the classroom and help them reap the benefit. There are 6 school organizational climate described by researcher Sharma in 1978. By reading the following, one can understand their own organization's climate and work on taking the right measures to improve the effectiveness of teaching of teachers by working in the right direction using accurate organizational climate. First is the open climate. This depicts a situation which is relatively open. Employees' organizational climate is healthy as they are not hindered in their work either by the management or the school principal. They perceive their principal or leader as highly considerate and democratic in behavior, and hence the group members as well as the principal feel all of a pieces. So, the group enjoys a high degree of integration and authenticity of behavior. They work together without complaints or infighting. They are intimate and friendly with one another. Teachers are not overloaded and are motivated enough to overcome difficulties and frustration. They have job satisfaction and are proud to be related to the school or institution. Second is autonomous climate. This has less openness than open climate. The employer gives almost complete freedom to employees to provide their own structure for interaction so that they can find ways within the group for satisfying their social needs. Employees achieve their goals easily and quickly, work together well, and accomplish tasks of the organization. Morale of the employees is high but not as high as in open climate. The employer runs the organization in a business-like manner and remains aloof from employees. He or she has set procedures and regulations which provide guidelines which employees can follow. He or she is considerate and works hard himself to set examples. He or she is genuine and flexible. Third is controlled climate. This manifests lesser degree of openness than both open and autonomous climate types. The climate is marked by emphasis on achievement at the expense of satisfaction of social needs. All work hard and there is hardly any time for friendly relations with others, for deviation from established controls and directives. Employees are expected to get work done and they expect to be told personally just how to do it. There are a few genuine warm relationships among employees, but social isolation is common. Job satisfaction is not from satisfaction of social needs but from task accomplishment. The employer is more result-oriented, shows bossism. He or she has low human qualities and gives little love, warmth, or sympathy to his or her teachers. He or she is dominative and directive, formal and impersonal, and ego-centered. He or she delegates few responsibilities and does everything to keep the school or college moving. Fourth is familiar climate. The main feature of this climate is the obviously friendly manner of both the employer and the employees. Social needs satisfaction is extremely high while little is done for the group activities to be directed towards goal achievement. Socially, employees will be all part of a big happy family. Moral or job satisfaction will be average, which will come from social needs satisfaction. As the employer does not want to disrupt the big happy family, he or she is afraid to make changes. He or she does not make any attempt to motivate or lead teachers to put their best efforts. He or she exerts little control on employees' activities. The leadership lacks commitment and is feeble. He or she lacks the will and competence to emphasize production. Although no one is strong, no one works to full capacity. Little is done either by direct or indirect means to evaluate or direct the activities of employees. Employer is regarded as good guy who is interested in the welfare of the employees and who looks out for them. Fifth is paternal climate. This climate is characterized by ineffective attempts of the employer to control employees as well as to satisfy their social needs. It is a partly closed climate and behavior of employer is non-motivating. He or she becomes intrusive and wants to know everything at once. He or she is everywhere at once, checking, monitoring, and telling people how things should be done, but still nothing seems to get done. The climate shows more closeness than familiar type climate. The employer has inflated ego and his or her center of interest and concern are the school and network of activities therein. Employees do not work well together. They are factions. The employer's inability to control activities of teachers leads to lack of establishment of group maintenance. A great deal of work is done by the employer, thus employees have few hindrances. As the employer takes care of things as best as he or she can, employees give up trying. They do not enjoy friendly relations with each other nor have adequate satisfaction with regard to task accomplishment. Closed climate. This is the most closed climate and the less genuine, and it characterizes the other extreme of the climate spectrum. The employer is ineffective in directing the activities of teachers. At the same time, he or she is not inclined to look out for their personal welfare. The employer will be highly aloof and impersonal in controlling and directing employees' activities. He or she sets up rules which are normally arbitrary. He or she will go by the book rather than get too involved personally with employees and their problems. His or her words are hollow and possesses little thirst, and he or she does not motivate the employees by setting good personal example. The group members secure neither social needs satisfaction nor job satisfaction from task accomplishment. Health of organizational climate. School climate, healthy to unhealthy. A healthy school climate is characterized by institutional integrity. teachers are protected from disruptive outside forces. The principal has influence with superiors, gets needed resources, and has integrated leadership style that is concerned with both the task at hand and the social well-being of teachers. Morale is high and there is a general praise for academic achievement by teachers, parents, and students. An unhealthy school climate is vulnerable to disruptive outside forces. The principal has little influence with superiors, resources are scarce, and the principal neither seeks direction nor is supports teachers. Morale is poor and there is limited attention to academic matters because the teacher have given up.